So, hello and welcome. We're here at the booth of Acheron Games, and with me is Camilla. Hello.
Hello, Marcus.
So, you have some very interesting products with you.
Yep.
First of all, Brancalonia.
Yes. Thank you very much for the interesting info. And do I take this? Do you want to take
I
this?
can hold it.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, Brancalonia is our main line, our first product ever. The setting book, I mean. And then we expanded it into a couple of other books. It's basically what we call spaghetti fantasy. So, what's spaghetti fantasy?
I think that was the unique selling point where some of us was okay. It has a cool cover, but what is spaghetti fantasy?
You know spaghetti westerns, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You think of those, then you take away the guns and put swords and magic into it. So very low magic, very like the main characters are not the heroes. They are the bottom of the barrel. They are knaves, and so they try to get by doing jobs. You know, trying to find something that will pay them, basically. And it's heavily inspired by Italian culture, literature, folklore, and we tried to take all of this and put it into a fantasy game using D&D 5th edition as the bones of all of this. And so, for example, we created new races and new subclasses that better fit with the Mediterranean feeling, let's say, instead of the traditional D&D one.
So it's, if you look at the cover, you can see it's mostly something, down, gritty, dirty, like fantasy.
Exactly. And but it's also light-hearted and fun. So it's not great if you don't want to. The idea is that it could be like a Collodi's book, like a Pinocchio. You can play as a marionette, actually. So it can be really true to that. And the idea is that we just wanted something fun. As I was saying, something low magic. For example, you cap at level 6, so you cannot go further than that. And that's also because we thought that an actual paladin at level 20 would be like a demigod and probably conquer Brancalonia in like 2 days. And Brancalonia is this one. It's the other boot of Italy. And so yeah, that was the feeling we were trying to catch. Funny. We wanted something funny to play. And we did also 2 compendiums with other races, subclasses, new objects, new magical junk. We call it that way because it's not good magic. Yeah. This is the Macaronicon, is the first compendium. Actually, Macaronicon is very fun, but it's also the real title of a poem in Italian from the 17th century, if I'm correct. And here we have a couple of new races and subclasses and more adventures. And then we have the Jinx's Almanac, which is this one. Again, a lot of adventure hooks and stuff like that. And then we have our first campaign book, which is The Empire Walks Back. And it's a campaign in 10 parts. And it's pretty funny. It actually talks about the emperor of what would be Brancalonia's Holy Roman Empire. That's not really happy with us because Brancalonia is not paying taxes. And so he comes down into the northern part of the kingdom and tries to win it back. And the knaves, the main characters, find themselves a little bit in the middle of all of this, trying not to be killed by any of the parts and trying to get back home with their skin and their money.
Very cool. Those are in the English translation because originally it's in Italian.
Yeah, exactly. We are an Italian company. We try to use what we know, you know. And we do publish them in Italian and English every time. A Brancalonia setting book translation is supposed to come out in German next year.
We will have an interview with Sister Matters who will do the translation and will publish it in Germany because he already said to me it's because German has a little love with the spaghetti western from the 60s, 70s until the 80s. And
also Bud Spencer and Terence Hill.
Yes,
it's a huge influence in our game, and so we know you love them, and so
we do.
We share the love.
Yeah. And he thought that this was just perfect.
Thank you. Actually, one fun thing I forgot to mention, and Bud Spencer and Terence Hill brought it back to memory. We actually created a new dynamic, which is the brawl that you do wherever you want to brawl, but mostly in taverns. And it's basically combat without damages.
Okay.
So you do just like a brawl in a Bud Spencer and Terence Hill movie.
Something where everyone at the end of the fight is just standing up and
Exactly.
okay. And
Exactly. That's the feeling. Yeah.
that sounds cool. But this is not the only RPG you published, because you have two other ones.
Yes. Let me take them and
Yeah.
so we can bring them here.
Okay. We start with Inferno?
Stay in 5th edition. We stay in the 5th edition for now, yeah. And we definitely changed the feeling of the game because this is very serious, very introspective. And it's Inferno Dante's Guide to Hell, which is inspired by Dante's Inferno, actually.
I would have guessed from the title, but I think the subtitle is...
We wanted it to be very clear. And this is the player's handbook. And this is the Dungeon Master's Guide, basically. And I just wanted to show you, we do really love our maps, and so we try to put them everywhere. And in this one, basically, you play as a lost one, a lost soul in hell, and you have to do Dante's voyage, basically, through hell. So you start in the woods, and then with
You really go down the circles of hell.
you go down, and then you go down to the big bad guy, Lucifer himself. And then, if you're lucky, you escape.
Okay. So these are basically those two books. There are no more expansions. Or is there something?
We do had a, let's say, connected project, which is called Apocalypse. So basically, is inspired by the Book of Revelation. And we did create a loose thread of connection between them. So, for example, you could play Inferno, and the moment the lost ones get out of hell, their getting out of hell has unleashed the apocalypse. But that was a Kickstarter, I want to say 7 months ago. Honestly, time has no meaning to me right now. And it will be released to retail next year. And you can see a piece of it there.
Ah, yes, okay. So this is Inferno,
Yes.
inspired by
The
Dante's Tales. And,
Yeah, exactly.
So,
And yes.
also 5e
Yes.
from the system.
Yeah, but with many changes. For example, we suggest to use only one race, which is the lost one, and then use the archetypes we created that are basically subclasses. And each archetype is decided by how the character behaved in their life. So, for example, a very angry character in life would become a barbarian, the archetype of the barbarian, the beast. And since you are already in hell, you cannot die, obviously. You just respawn. But you do have hope points, because hope is a very fundamental concept in Dante's poem. And the moment you lose all your hope points, you are lost forever in hell. You cannot get out anymore.
It's the equivalent of a character's death, so you have no hope. It's over for you.
Yeah, exactly. However, we did create 3 additional races, which is the Malebranche, which is a devil, basically, the indifferent angels, which are the ones that are in the poem by Dante. They are before the actual hell, and they were condemned because they were indifferent during the battle. And also the noble spirit, which are the ones that were born before the coming of Christ, and so they couldn't go into heaven. You can play as one of these 3 races, but it adds a layer of difficulty, so we suggest to start playing as a lost one.
Very cool concept, I think. So, and yes, the last game, this is Lex Arcana.
Yes.
I think we have a little thematically Italian all inspired here, because you have Brancalonia, Inferno, and I think Lex Arcana from the look.
Yes, exactly. As I was saying before, we try to do what we know. And also our history and traditional literature just has so much to offer that, I mean, why not, basically? And Lex Arcana actually is a game with a very long history. It was first published in the 90s, 1993 to be exact. But then it didn't publish any more new expansion, or it wasn't reprinted for a while. and then it was rebooted in 2018. Also with a few tweaks and modification. One of the authors is also Francesco Nepitello, which is the One Ring author. And basically you play as part of the Lex Arcana, which is a sort of secret service inside the Centurions. That it was funded because in this alternative history, magic is real and the Empire never fell. Because it was prevented, basically. And you investigate mysteries, you fight against monsters, you're basically X-Files in the Roman Empire. And it has a different game system. It's called dice point systems. It basically works with a pool of dice. You decide each time you have to roll a check how many dice, with a maximum of 3, you want to roll, and which dice you want to roll. So, for example, you have dice points, basically, and let's say you have 12 dice points for a check in one of your proficiencies. You can decide to roll either 1d12, 2d6s, or 3d4s, or even 1d4 and 1d8. You can make you can go crazy with that. And obviously, statistically, they can get very different results. So the 1d12 can get a 12, but much easier, but also a 1 much easier. The 3d4s cannot go lower than 3, but it's much more difficult to get a 12. So that's the basic. I'm sorry if I explained it a little bit. That's the basic of how it works. And then you have obviously very different classes from maybe the usual one you play in D&D. One of the most interesting one is the assassin. Obviously you don't go around saying, oh, I'm the assassin of this group. So you mask as another class. It's very fun.
So this is the core book?
Yes. And we do have many expansions. Here I've brought just one, but we actually have many. This is Dacia and Trachea, so modern day Transylvania basically. And what you have in these geographical expansions are an in-depth look at the region, then a couple of new monsters and objects, and then adventures. And I was saying Dacia and Trachea. But we also have as geographical expansions Egyptus, Italia, and Britannia, which has been printed really recently. And then we have also the Encyclopedia Arcana, which is just lore about the Empire. So we are really history geeks. Our authors are very, very much history geeks. And then we also have 2 volumes called Mysteries of the Empire 1 and 2, which contains 10 adventures ready to play each. So it's 20 adventures ready to play.
I think there's a lot of stuff if you want to go into Lex Arcana. So you have, okay, not just the core book, but also enough books to choose from. If say, okay, this looks very interesting, I want to play in this region or this, and yeah, some other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, question, just a quick look into the future. I think if you say, okay, we have this and this and this,
yeah,
it sounds like you have some future plans for products.
Yes, we do. We actually just closed the Kickstarter campaign for Brancalonia for 3 new books in Brancalonia, the Brancalonia line. One's a bestiary, one's a gazetteer for the kingdom, and one's a book of adventures. And the Kickstarter crowdfunding went really well, and so we hope to have them maybe. I mean, if we really run and are really, really good, we may have them next SPIEL messe. But who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's also difficult to tell, okay, to make a promise, okay, we will have them, maybe, I know.
We will work very hard to have them, but we cannot assure that right now. And obviously we will have a little bit more of the Lex Arcana expansions I just talked about, the Britannia Mysteries of the Empire 2, which are the newer books. And we will be doing a crowdfunding for 2 new Lex Arcana books. I cannot tell you exactly what they are about, but let's say it will be a very important city. There will be a very huge plot twist. And also there will be dinosaurs.
This sounds promising and very intriguing, I think. So, at this point, I would like to thank you very much to give you a quick overlook over all the products. Yeah, I know it's a much of books you have here, and a lot of books. And I think you have to look for yourself and say, okay, this sounds interesting, or oh, this is a very cool concept, or Lex Arcana, I heard it before, yeah, cool, it's back again.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we are very proud of what we achieved with our products, and I do think they present themselves beautifully, but I'm biased, obviously. And then also, if maybe someone who's watching this is interested, we do ship all over Europe with our website. It's www.acheron, that's written ACHERON.IT. We ship all over Europe, so, you know, if you are interested in something.
Okay, so at this point, I wish you good luck for the rest of the Spiel. I
Thank
think
you.
it's this day and
Danke
tomorrow. Bitte. A few hours left and tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I think with the German public has been very warm and very kind to us, and so we do hope, you know, to keep. Oh, we have a Dante.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. It's mostly you have pen and paper. It's okay D&D, but
Yes.
But actually Germany has a very active and big scene of pen and paper.
Absolutely.
It's something that mostly goes under the radar because
We actually have a Lex Arcana Deutsche Fangruppe on Facebook. So,
cool.
Hi everyone.
Yeah, but it's something most people don't really know. Saying, okay, yeah, it's a small hobby. It's not that small in Germany, actually.
Absolutely.
That's it's always quite interesting, and it's good to see when we have other stuff from different regions all over Europe or the world to swap into it,
Also,
because
just so your viewers know, there's actually a German translation of just the core rule book of Lex
Okay.
Arcana by Urwerk.
okay, yeah,
So,
good to know.
Yes, maybe, you know,
Yeah.
not everyone, and it's right,
Yeah.
just plays in English. So if you want to play Lex Arcana,
Yeah.
it sounds cool, but you do prefer to maybe play it in German, look for Urwerk.
Okay, then thanks very much and good luck.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem.